Gagan Ghotra, welcome back to the podcast.
Let's just get into it then. So recently, Google launched Gemini 3, which right now is the best model out there. And this is the blog post that they wrote. And in this one, they have explained a lot of technical details around like how the model is performing on different benchmarks. As SEOs, we don't need to know the exact details, but overall, the summary is that this is the best model out there right now, and it can do a lot of crazy stuff. And we will start with the first one and share a sort of like a chat with you to show you like what it can exactly do. So here I am in Gemini, and I do have Pro subscription, which is must if you want to use these features. And Pro subscription is just 20 USD a month. And here it's a funny one. Edward would find it interesting. And you know what? I did not tell Edward that this is what I will be doing a demo of. So it's going to be interesting for Edward as well.
Yeah.
So here I am using visual layout feature, which is the new one that they launched. And here I have selected 3 Pro Thinking, which is a feature with Gemini 3 that they launched. So here what I'm doing, I have provided it with the link of course, the course that Ed would have, compact keywords. And then I have asked it, generate a plan of this specific SEO strategy can be applied to a SaaS start business to help grow traffic from Google search. So what I've asked it is that you can go to this page and tell me how I can apply this strategy to a SaaS business. And here is what it generated for me.
That's interesting.
As the feature name is visual layout, so it present everything as a visual, not just like a regular chat that you see in ChatGPT. So it has this kind of like visual, and then it presents a plan that phase 1, this is what you need to do. Edward, what do you think? This is the right approach to apply your strategy?
Your feature product alternative, it's actually supposed to be competitor alternatives. So the bracketed section there, that would be like a competitor alternative. Your product versus competitor A versus competitor B. That's part of it. It's like a small fraction of it. Best software category for a specific niche role. That's actually, I kind of advise really going after best keywords, like listicle keywords, just like to a minimal amount. Because one, there's only so many listicle articles that you can write. If you write too many of them, it's kind of seen as spammy. And listicle keywords are more competitive. Compact keywords is actually about a way different type of bottom of funnel purchase intent keyword. Lots of people associate purchase intent keywords with best keywords, and compact keywords isn't that at all. So sorry, Gagan,
Yeah.
so far.
It's a fail. Or what do you think about this? Then phase 2, execution
well, you're
and
right.
high
To your
conversion
point,
content.
we were talking about this earlier. Mark Benioff, the founder of Salesforce, literally said that he had been using ChatGPT religiously for the last 3 years. Every day, it was like all that he used. And Gemini 3 is so good that he is switching his workflow entirely from ChatGPT to Gemini 3. And lots of other people are saying this. And when you told me that you wanted to come on and share Gemini 3, just like as an SEO, I'm extremely excited for what's possible with better reasoning capabilities and copywriting and everything. So just because like this isn't great, you literally did it with like a less than 1 sentence prompt. So yeah. So like to your point, I'm sure it can be like a bajillion times better.
Yeah, I think if you write a really long, detailed prompt and you exactly tell what you want and you provide it more information, then it comes back with a lot of great information. And because it's grounding in Google search and all the other information that it has, it can pull information from YouTube, Google Maps, and of course the web. But the main reason I wanted to show this to you is the visual planning thing. So if you scroll down to the bottom of the answer, here it automatically generated this, where I can select different options and give it feedback around like yes, no, and select this option as well. And then I can click on submit. This is great for someone who don't know SEO and who is just researching to buy a product. So this is for someone who want to know more about your course and is thinking to make a purchase, and they are just doing research using this. So rather than saying just text in ChatGPT, Gemini automatically generated this, and they can select different options like where they are. They can do thumbs down, thumbs up, and they can also select this option, and then they can click on submit. And based upon this information and all the information that you have on already on your website, it's going to generate another answer.
Yeah, that's
And
really
here
cool.
it's that answer. So what I wanted to and it's even giving you the next
Dude, I
steps, like
literally am even
what you should
thinking.
explore.
I'm literally even thinking. I'm like, oh man, because the video that I have at the top of the Compact Keywords landing page is hosted with Bunny.net, and I'm like, there's probably a way to include the transcript for the VSL to be readable by Google, and then like if it had like the transcript for a 10-minute VSL, it's going to do a much better job actually creating something like this. Like
Yes, I think so.
I'm thinking what sort of information can I have out there to have this be better without it being like a million times extra work for me, and that's like a low-hanging fruit thing to do.
Yeah, see how it just came out of nowhere that Edward is talking about AI SEO now. So if you are also like trying out these tools, you always end up discovering something where you go like, oh, I should go ahead and do this for my business to show so that the answers are better over here. So this is like one of the ways where you can discover like where you should be optimizing, or if there is any information which is wrong here, or you want it to be not like what it is showing right now. The best way is to go on the sources and do. Of course, it is showing the sources as well, and it is pulling
Oh,
from
from
different sources.
Crazy Egg.
It's
What?
crazy egg as well. But the problem with this one right now is that it can't be source focused enough. Like I asked it about topic A, but it goes to everything and then it brings back and then it make a judgment based upon that. So if you ask it about my product, and if I am selling SEO services in Australia, that's where our target audience is, then it will go to other agency pages as well to see like what they are talking about, and in that respect it will going to give you opinion about you should go with Gagan Ghotra or someone else. So it's really useful research tool for someone who is looking to make a decision but is not interested in like just a text as ChatGPT showed. They want more like visual information which they can interact with. And I have also heard like there are some stats out there as well where people say that people like more visual pages compared to just like full text. So this is a great feature, I think. And if you're a business owner, you should explore it. And you might also end up finding some gaps on your website and which you can optimize and show up better in the answers here.
This method of marketing is so effective, I had to make sure it wasn't against Google's rules before I kept doing it. It's a form of SEO I call compact keywords. Whereas most SEO focuses on putting up articles to answer questions how, what, when, compact keywords focuses on putting up dozens of pages that sell to searchers who are actually looking to buy. These pages rank on Google and convert so much better than normal that when I discovered this years ago, I couldn't believe this was allowed. It's less work too. The average compact keywords page is only 415 words. Compact Keywords is a 13-hour deep course on getting sales with SEO. A customer recently said, "Each lesson is dense with information. You're giving years worth of experience boiled down into 15 to 30-minute lessons with no filler or fluff. I feel like I'm gaining a new superpower." Compact Keywords is about setting up an SEO funnel that brings you sales for years and years and years. It works with AI, it's less work than traditional SEO, and it makes way more money. You can get it now at compactkeywords.com. Back to the podcast.
Cool.
So this is the one that I wanted to show. And now what we will discuss is like some of the specific things that they have launched for Google search, AI mode and AI overviews. And now what will happen is the AI mode and AI overviews fan out systems, which means that if you enter something, it takes your queries, it breaks into small queries, and then it searches the web for those, bring together everything and generate an answer for you. That's going to be powered by Gemini 3, which means that now it can do better fan out queries, which will translate to generating better answers. So if you are showing up in AI mode or AI overviews a lot, but suddenly either your visibility went up or visibility went down, this might be the reason that AI overviews and AI mode switched to Gemini 3 reasoning now. So if in just last couple of weeks you saw a spike in your AI overviews or AI mode visibility, Gemini 3 is responsible for that. If you saw a drop, Gemini 3 is also responsible for that.
So you're saying that the query fanouts have changed due to Gemini 3?
Yes. Yep.
Is there a
So
way? Have you seen like how they've changed? Maybe they're using like the current year more in the query fanouts, for example, or the query fanouts are longer tail.
What I've seen is it is going to be more around like how the prompt should be broken down. And it's not like clear as of now. Like I'm also trying to look at the data and see like what exactly changed. It's not properly like showing up like this is the specific thing that should changed with Gemini 3. But what I've seen is that it's breaking into more queries right now, it seems like. So earlier, if the prompt was breaking into 8 different fan outs, and you can map it out that, okay, this might be the possible queries because you never know like what it is. It is breaking down into like 12 to 15 now. So if you ask it a question, your prompt is getting broken down into more fan outs right now.
Wow. All right. So let me ask you this. Like from your experiments with Gemini 3 so far, from what you're seeing, is this changing your SEO approach at all?
This is not changing my SEO approach as of now, but I think it's going to change it. Because the reasoning capabilities that it is discarding a lot of information which is coming back to it. So you enter a prompt, it breaks down into 13 or 15 fan outs. Each fan out is then searched via Google. So for 13 fan outs, you do searches and you take like top 10 results. That's 130 pages to generate answer for your prompt. And because now for the citation selection, it's also going to use Gemini 3. Out of those 130, which one will be selected has also changed. So if your citation visibility in AI overviews and AI mode has changed, that is also because of this Gemini 3. So here, Google's Robbie Steen, who is a team member from search team, he's also saying that means search can now surface even more relevant web content for your specific question. Which means that prompt to fan out is also powered by Gemini 3, but fan out and the search that it is doing using Google and what citations are coming from and which citation should be selected versus not is also powered by Gemini 3 now. So as a business owner, you need to look for two things. If your visibility went up in terms of the citations, that means that you got benefited from this change. If it went down, that means that you got like a core update hit kind of thing in AI overviews and AI mode. So over time, I think it's going to improve way further, and it will all come down to creating great content across the whole web.
You know, this is interesting because so Perplexity will do like 1 to 3 query fan outs, and same with ChatGPT. Oftentimes ChatGPT will just do one. It'll just do one.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll do 3. And so you said this is like 12 to 15.
Yeah, 12 to 15, and then each is searched. So at the end of the day, like if your prompt is short, then it's lesser. But if your prompt is like, let's say 100 words, then it is doing a lot of fan outs. And the best way to get more information about like where, how many fan outs it is doing and how many sources it is considering, you can just go to Gemini again. And instead of this visual layout feature, you cancel that, you start a new chat and you select tools, then you click on deep research and you click on this Thinking with 3 Pro. You enter whatever prompt that you want to rank for, and it's going to take around like 5 minutes to come up with the answer. And in that answer, it shows you almost 100 or maybe 80-ish sources that it considered to generate that answer. So which means that this feature is also using fan out the same way that AI mode and AI overviews is using, but this is more extreme. So this can provide you a brief overview into like what citations are getting considered and then discarded from AI overviews answer. So AI overviews considered 50 pages, but 30 of those got discarded and 20 ended up becoming the citations. But over here, you can also be able to see those 30 which were not selected for some reason. And if you are in those 30 over here, then you should be looking into optimizing those pages to make sure that at least AI overview is going to pick that up as a citation.
How important do you think reputation management is, and the way that you appear off your website due to all of this?
Really, really important. Specifically, reputation management on other sites, Reddit is one of them. So what you should be doing right now is that if there is anything positive about your brand on the web, you should bring that on your website. And if there is anything negative about your brand, you should address that at that source, wherever that is, and then also bring that onto your website.
Really?
So
Wait, you're saying include the negative things about your brand on your own site?
Yes, of course. Yep.
And so can you give an example of what that might look like?
So let's say I run a e-commerce brand where I'm selling certain type of like electronic products, and someone did a YouTube video where they said that this is a great business. I ordered from there, great customer service. They delivered like within 3 days or something. Yeah, that is a really, really positive thing. I should bring that to my own website and write a page about this, or have a page where I am collecting all the positive YouTube videos about me. But if in some subreddit, someone said that, oh, this is a shit business, they don't deliver the products on time, their customer service is shit, they don't do proper refunds or something like that, you should address that question right there first. You should reply to that Reddit comment and address it. And then also create a page on your website where you are addressing it in more details, where you are almost writing an essay explaining that why whatever that person said is not the case for all of your users. And that was like 1 in 1,000 situation, and this is why it happened. This is how we make sure that this don't happen for majority of our users or customers. So you will have to do that. Bring positives from all the web to your site, create pages about that, and if there is any negative, address that at the specific point, and then also write detailed explanation about that on your website as well. Because what will happen over time is that systems will also consider your point of view, which will be from your website. So it's better that you have explained it in a detailed way. And I'm not saying that you have to like link to those pages really, really visibly on your website. You can just have it as a blog post and never link to it. There is no navigation to that blog page from your home page or collection page, but there is that blog page.
You're saying it would be an orphan? You're saying it would be an orphan? It wouldn't be linked to anywhere from your website, or it would be just like one internal link?
Maybe just 1 or 2 internal links, but you should not have it like visibly enough.
Yeah.
Even if you have it,
I was thinking that I would bury it, that you would have like a subsection of your blog, and then you would put it in the subsection of the blog that like actual users don't look at, but search engines still see.
Yeah. I hate to say this, but sometimes you have to create pages for search engines. Otherwise, your SEO strategy is a bit of
yeah, you always have to
like way too edgy.
Yeah. But the trick is to do it in a way that's like that makes sense for existing users of your site.
Yeah, sure. And even like whenever there is any issue with any big enough brand about anything related to reputation management, sometimes they put out an announcement and they link to it visibly as well. Like sometimes you land on their homepage and you see a pop-up saying that, oh, you may have heard of this news. Here is what is our perspective on that, like many brands do that as well. So
and something else, you're right. Brands, especially ones that are like maybe more strapped for resources, probably don't spend enough time writing about their wins, writing about the positive testimonials, making stuff that's really easy to understand for search engines or for LLMs about like actual positive reviews of your brand. And because I know personally, I don't do enough of this, because you're always focused on how can I get more visitors? How can I get more visitors? But taking a little bit of time to actually just focus on the wins and make content that is parsable and understandable about your wins to show that you are a reliable and good brand is very important to do.
Yeah, I will drop another tip as well. This is for local SEOs who are just like their target audience is just one city. So if you're doing local SEO for your Google business profile properly, you might be ending up with like 100 positive 5-star reviews. And on your website, you should write blog page about those reviews. So you can just take those reviews and create blog pages. And even now you can use AI. So 100 positive reviews, you can go to ChatGPT, paste all that in, and you can ask it to cluster those as like 5 reviews are about accounting services, 5 reviews are about tech services, and 5 reviews are about like business strategy for startups. You will get really, really good informational pages out of that, and you can edit them, polish them a bit, and you can create blog pages out of that and publish those blog pages on your website. And whatever pillar pages that you have for accounting services in Melbourne, accounting services in New York, business strategy for startups in San Francisco, or whatever your pillar page is, you should be linking from the blog pages that I mentioned that you can create, link to those main pages, and over time, your main pages will have a lot of supporting pages, and that will help with the ranking of those pillar pages.
Awesome. Are you seeing anything else with Gemini 3?
Oh, yeah, sure. So this is like a automatic model selection for AI mode, AI overviews. This is a bit of weird one because right now it is not sure like which model AI overviews is using. When you search on Google, then it just shows you the answer. It does not show you is it Gemini 2, 2.5 or 3 or some other Gemini version. And in AI mode also, like when you search, it does not explicitly show you, but there is a model selection option where you can select like which model you want. But here, Google is saying that it's going to be automatic for in some way. I'm not sure like how it will be, but this will get tricky for SEOs because over time we will not know that if AI overview, the answer that it is generating, it is getting generated by Gemini 2 or Gemini 3. And in terms of the optimization, there are different ways where for Gemini 3, you will have to focus more on explaining everything because it is reasoning over a lot of information. So that's why I explained you that you will have to explain like why a negative review about your brand happened. So Gemini 3 will focus on that, but Gemini 2 will ignore those kind of things. And this will get a bit tricky if you're looking to optimize for AI overviews. But at the end of the day, if you're doing everything right for Gemini 3, ideally you should get positive answers for Gemini 2. So if when your customers are searching and the AI overviews automatically is getting generated by Gemini 3 and you show up, and for customers where answer is getting generated by Gemini 2, you will also show up. But it does not work the other way around. So if Gemini 2 is recommending your brand, it is not 100% sure that Gemini 3 will recommend your brand. But if Gemini 3 is recommending your brand, Gemini 2 for sure will recommend your brand.
Okay.
So this is something that you will have to focus on. So if you are not getting enough visibility with this change, then you just have to focus on more content on your website, explain more, go more detailed.
I was actually thinking, I think I talk about social listening all the time. Like, so I had the CMO of Originality.ai on, and she hires 2 full-time people to post on Reddit, basically explaining like in stealth, like why Originality.ai is the best AI writing detector. And I'm like, I think it like now more than ever, believe it or not, I think it makes sense to have a dedicated SEO copywriter on staff. Somebody who understands what search engines look for, what LLMs look for, and then just write a ton of stuff, basically repurposing the positive reviews you're getting or addressing negative things, and just cranking out content that might even be for like kind of like low volume things, or it's not even targeting keywords at all, but it's literally just it's writing more about the positive reviews that you get because these will get surfaced in AI a lot more. And as we've seen, like I had the VP of owned media for SEMrush on the show yesterday, and he's like, yeah, AI converts 4.4 times more than traditional search. Like it might have like a small fraction of the market share, but it does convert a lot more. So like I think SEO copywriters actually are more important now than they ever were, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. And the next thing that I'm going to show you is that will make you go that schema is dead or it's going to be dead.
Let's go.
Yeah. So this one is that there will be generative UIs in AI mode, which means that if you search something, then it will generate different UIs.
Can you zoom in on this video? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So it will generate different kind of like dynamic charts, different kind of search features automatically without you having to implement any sort of schema. And over time, what Google said is that there will be more and more of these. So all the search features that you see in search results will get automatically generated in AI mode without there being any need to implement schema on the pages. And because of that, there will be thousands of these generative UIs. So if someone is searching something from Australia, they might see different dynamic UI in the answer compared to someone who is searching from US. So it's going to be Wild West where we will have thousands of these kind of the features which will get shown to users every day, and it's going to be automatical. You don't have to implement any sort of like schema or anything. And I'm not saying schema is going to be dead. It's still important to implement that. But you should also be aware of the fact that this is where things are going, where there will be thousands of search features that look like it is powered by schema, but technically it's not, because Gemini 3 is doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I think more so it's just you want to make sure that the information on your site is structured in a way that's easy to understand.
Yes, of
like
course,
comparison tables is a good obvious example.
Yep. And also, like, you should try to explore like how your users might find it useful to get the information. That's why I started with the visual layout feature review, because right now things are changing a lot and users' interest going to be changed a lot. So let's say tomorrow we are in 2026 and a billion users are using AI mode, and all they are saying in answers is these generative UIs. And when they come to your website, it's all text and pages. Will that going to be a positive experience, or users going to expect same kind of like dynamic UIs from your website as well? I think it's going to move in that direction. If billions of users are seeing these kind of things in Google, they might expect website owners to have these kind of like dynamic stuff on their website as well. So you also start as a brand should also like already start to look into these things where with the changing user interest and the behavior, specifically how these features are getting introduced. And people, I prefer this. I have been testing this. I love this over reading a page. So that is also like you need to look as a brand owner.
Yeah. I talked about this yesterday, actually, on yesterday's episode about like, I'm just like so sick of websites trying to do SEO with huge blocks of text with the like just enormous paragraphs of multiple long verbose sentences. And it like literally, like Nielsen did a study and found that people's eyes scan a page in an F pattern. And it's like, this isn't what people want. But what you just said also, it is why it's so important to have enough information about your brand out there. Because the more information you have about your brand, the easier it is for these dynamic elements to be made by AI. So people come to your site already qualified, and all they have to do is take action. And then you make it easy for them to take action. And use real images and not stock photos if you can. Screenshots of your SaaS, like screenshot if you're a local business, real images from the job. And it just makes things easier for potential customers, and it makes you more trustworthy.
Yeah. And one of the really important thing that marketers in general who work with brands have to consider is that the buyer's journey is changing, and there are a lot of new elements that are getting introduced there. So you will also have to rethink your overall marketing strategy. You can't rely on the same buyer's journey or the mapping that you have inside your company right now. You can't be relying on that and say that, oh, we're going to double down on this for 2026 because this is how we think that our users find us or how they get to us. because now with all these features, even AI mode is recommending your competitors a lot in the follow-up questions. So you will also factor that in where your potential prospect is searching, and just below the answer about your brand, AI mode is saying that you might also like consider this as well. So
Dude,
you will also have to factor that in your buyer journey.
I'm kind of hyped. Like I'm really, the more we talk, I'm like, man, at 2026, SEO copywriters who can literally deluge the internet with content about your brand will be so important. You just need an SEO copy, and they're not expensive, because like I'm actually hiring an SEO copywriter right now. They're not expensive, and it's so you just need good copy that is informed by keywords to be put out constantly about your brand on every platform, including user-generated content platforms.
Yeah, sure. I think as a brand owner, or internally, if your team is because like you have a lot of processes and everything, you should always hate to say this because I also work as a consultant. Like I do agency work as well, but as a consultant as well. But right now is the most important time that either you hire Edward or Gagan or someone else who is external to your brands, who can bring like new ideas to you about all this, like what is changing. Because if you don't have that information, and internally your team members are not like pushing for that information to be executed for your marketing strategy, it's going to be really difficult environment for you in 2026. Because brands who have got like all these consultants, strategists like externally who are working through these ideas and trying to adjust their strategies, they are already like going to be 100 times ahead. Because with AI, you can take one point and implement it at 100x speed. Like you mentioned, like content writer, like you can tell him to write a blog post, and within 1-2 hours, he can come back with like different structure ideas because of AI, how the internal links going to be working, what information should be there. And that process used to be take like maybe more than 3-4 hours. But right now you can get from idea to execution within just hours. And people like brands who can do this at scale and adjust their marketing according to all this AI, they're going to be 100x ahead of you. It's not like your competition is like 2 steps ahead of you. The competition who will execute better will be 100 steps ahead of you. So you just have to think in that way.
Yeah. And actually, to your point, that's why like a lot of people would be like, why do you need an SEO copywriter when you can just use AI? Well, we saw what was generated about compact keywords at the beginning of this, and it was wrong. And if it was your brand and you were generating unreviewed content about your brand that was wrong, you wouldn't want that. So you need somebody who can actually review, edit, and make content that accurately reflects your brand while understanding keywords, who is basically super powered, like you were saying, by like Gemini 3 or something equivalent.
Yeah, sure. So moving on to the next one is, this is going to be crazy as well. Right now in Gemini, there used to be no product listings, but they have introduced the product listings in Gemini as well. So Gemini, the app that you have on your mobile, and at web, you can go to gemini.google.com. That used to be just like simple ChatGPT, used to generate answers and everything. But now the free product listings that people see in the search results are also going to be showing in the answers. And it is huge because right now Gemini has 650 million active users, which means that 650 million people are going to be seeing the product listings in the answers now. So how this is going to show up is this. You see this?
Yeah.
You can interact with that. This is inside Gemini. And earlier it used to be not there. Earlier it used to just generate like simple answer and give you the links to go to those product pages. But now you can see all the information there and interact with that. And because the scale is really big, 650 million active users monthly, that's the number from Google. It's literally going to change the whole e-commerce game. And if you are not showing up already, you should look into this as well and try to optimize for it.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask, how do you optimize for it?
You start with the usual SEO that you can do for the product listing, setting up your merchant center, having the right collection pages and the blog content on your website. That is the first step. And then you just try to do the reverse engineering. You search for the keywords or the queries that you want to rank for, see what the sources it is citing, And if your sources are not getting cited, but you are showing up in the usual search results, that means there is a quality gap. So for same query, you are showing up in Google search results on the first page, but not showing up in Gemini, which means that there is some quality gap on your pages. So look into improving your pages. And if you're already not on the first page of the results, it's pretty much over. That is where the starting point should be. Do SEO, get to the first page of the search results for your targeted queries. And even after that, if you're not showing up properly in Gemini, then look again and improve your pages further.
Amazing.
Okay, all right.
Is that everything from Gemini 3?
Yeah.
That's everything.
That's everything. But there is also Nano Banana Pro as well, which is crazy model.
Oh my God.
I think people have already seen that. It's crazy.
Yeah, Nano Banana. We use Nano Banana for, I think I've talked about this, for all of the thumbnails for this podcast.
Yeah. Nano Banana Pro is crazy because it's now grounded in Google search results. So if you're searching for anything, it's going to take the information from search results and then going to generate an answer for you. 1 second. Let me pull up an example that I posted on my LinkedIn.
Yeah, please. So you're saying Nano Banana is, if there's like not enough appropriate images, Nano Banana will create one? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, like, even if you give it like, I'll show you the example. Like you will be wow. Like
Okay.
How does this happen?
Okay.
Okay.
So Gagan is pulling up. Oh,
Okay.
There we go.
So what I asked is, I just gave it simple prompt, map showing house prices in Melbourne, Australia. I did not give it any data point or set it to do anything specific. It is grounded in Google search, which means that it break down this prompt into different fan outs. It did the searching, it found the data, and then it generated the map. That's why it's really, really powerful, because it can do Googling for you now. The previous version, Nano Banana, was not able to do that, but now they have enabled it. So this is like really, really powerful. So all the knowledge that Google have, YouTube, Google Search, Google Maps, it can literally pull that knowledge in and generate an infographic for you.
I think if there's one takeaway from this entire episode, it's get an outsourced SEO copywriter on staff. They're really not that expensive, and have them have a long-term perspective so that they understand, like, they're going to just become better at explaining your brand as time goes on, and act with the perspective of, like, we just are, over the next like year, 2 years, we are going to deluge the internet with content about our brand, and because that's what LLMs need. And this content is informed by keywords, and it's still SEO. And honestly, something like that would have been like, if are we saying this is different from normal SEO? It's actually not that different from normal SEO. It's just a different way to think about SEO, but it's still SEO.
Yeah, that's why it's really important that you think of it as the starting point is still the SEO. And even when I gave you the Gemini example and the product listings, that's why I specifically said, if you're not on the first page of the search results for your targeted queries, there is no benefit, or there is no any result. You will not see much results by spending on specifically AI SEO. So spend on SEO, get to the first page of the search results for your targeted queries, then explore how you can show into ChatGPT, Gemini, or everything else. And once you are on first page, it's really, really easy to discover like what might be going wrong. So for targeted query, if you're on first page, you search that in ChatGPT, you see that, oh, these pages are showing up. Maybe I should do comparison of my pages with these specific pages and see how I can make them better. That's how it simples get if you have your SEO done right already. But just jumping the ship to AI SEO is not the right decision, I think.
I would say the biggest change is smaller brands might need to focus more on branded terms than they would before. I think that's the biggest. That's really the biggest change is. But then again, if you were a small brand, doing alternative pages where you compare yourself to your competitors was always a good strategy. So it's
Yep.
still SEO.
Still SEO. I think a lot of takeaways in this one, but the main point is that things are changing, and you should also look into how the user behavior is changing, because that's going to be really, really important, because AI companies are going to push out more and more features over time. And if user is going to love those features, they might expect those features from you as a brand as well when they come on your website.
Gagan, do you think we're in a bubble with AI?
It depends. The classic SEO answer. I think right now the investments and everything that is going into all the space, it's really, really huge number. And I heard that most of the GDP growth in US is just AI companies and all the investment that is going into the space. So there is pretty much no growth in everything else, and the only growth is just AI companies. So that might be considered as a bubble, which might burst, but I don't think that it's going to burst anytime soon, because next year will be the year where we will see like large scale adoption of subscription products. And I feel like I was talking to someone and they were saying that if you can offer a product at like $4, 4 USD, 5 USD a month, and you can do it throughout US, Canada, Africa, Asia, everyone will become your customers. Like you will have like 7 billion customers, paying customers, if you can bring down the cost of these AI chatbots to like 5 USD a month kind of subscription. And I think that's what AI companies are aiming for. They want the whole world to be their paying customer now. So ChatGPT and OpenAI, their goal is that they want to bring down the cost of the models to the point where they can charge like 5 USD a month for the best model, and the whole world becomes their customer. It's not like just the US or the Western world where people are ready to pay like 20 USD or 100 USD or 200 USD a month. The goal of these AI companies to invest all this money on infrastructure and research is to bring it down to like the best possible model is just like 5 USD a month, and the whole world become their customers. Like parents are buying these subscription for their kids, like. So this is what they are aiming for, and I hope that they achieve that in like 2028 or 2029 or by 2030.
Dude, I mean, even next year is going to be insane. Like if we look at how just how AI images and video changed over 2025, they've become so much more accurate. Voice as well has become so much more accurate. Copy has gotten better, like crazy better. Dude, something else that I'm hiring for is I'm hiring like an AI filmmaker, somebody who actually like can make really compelling scenes and stories using AI to make commercials with AI for compact keywords. I think that's going to be really cool. And then the video, we're gonna push those out on social with a dedicated channel. The ones that perform well, I can run ads on those. I can use them in this podcast. And it's going to be like amazing and compelling. And we're at a stage where we can have like realistic video and that sounds great, entirely generated with AI, like real stories made. So 2026, exactly. So 2026 is going to be insane. I think we are in a bubble though. I think we're in a bubble in a sense that startups that should not have no business getting funded are raising tons of like AI startups that have no business getting funded are raising a lot of money. I think we're in a bubble in that sense where investors are irrational towards dumb startups, but we are not in a bubble in the sense that like this is still amazing and huge and life-changing and really exciting.
Yeah, I think it is great for the founders. Like I was talking to someone who raised 60 million last week. They closed the round.
You said 16 or 60?
60.
Oh,
60.
man. Oh, man.
Yeah, they are based in New York. So they, the founder was like, because the founder has been in game for like last almost 15 years, and they have been doing like different companies. And he was like, this is the easiest it has been to close the round. And he was like, we closed at 60, but when everyone in like business circles got to heard that, oh, they closed at 60, more people were ready to put in like more that we also want to join in.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
that's what I'm saying.
It's great. It's great time to be an AI founder,
That's a great time to be. Yeah, if you want the easy bag. Literally a lot of founders are doing that because they want the easy bag.
Yeah.
But we
All
saw
right.
this. Yeah, we just saw this time and time again. Like I saw this in blockchain in 2018, and it was an easy bag then. And all right, Gagan, you are a legend. This is, I think, your 4th or 5th time back on the show, and every time you come, it is fire. This was a great episode. For people who are not following you already, they should be. Where can they find you?
They can find me on X. It's Gagan Ghotra _ and on LinkedIn as well, just Gagan Ghotra.
And your site, right?
Yeah, of course, my site.
Your site is just it's Gagan.
Or should I change it to Markdown only
Oh
for
my gosh. I think was it you who shared that like this is like an alternate. There's a startup that is making that's making like a markdown versions of websites. It's not an LLMs.txt. It's literally like the entire website is getting turned into markdown.
Yeah, of course. I think that is also going to be important in 2026 because with the conversations that I'm doing right now is that AI companies want it so easier for them to scrape content, because right now it's really difficult that you have to fetch the page, you download HTML, there is a lot of JavaScript, you have to do all the cleaning up. And if you are doing it at a scale of like 100 million pages a day, it's going to be really, really expensive server costs. So what AI companies want it to be that website owners have markdown pages where they can just like fetch that markdown file and just read it rather than having to process all that HTML, JavaScript to extract the content on the pages. So this is also something that technical SEOs should watch out for. That we might end up in a situation where OpenAI comes out and say that, oh, if you want more traffic from us, more citations, just give us your website to us as a markdown or as a API fetch call.
Yeah, but this is gonna this would be a huge thing because there would need to be an agreed upon protocol, and it's kind of similar to AMP, how like Google pushed AMP and like it never caught on, and you need to have like an agreed upon protocol, which takes a long time to actually like roll out across sites. But
and also like I'm not sure if it is like a real or not, but I have heard that the deals that OpenAI have done with different publishers, they are not like crawling those sites. OpenAI is not crawling. They have a direct fetch API from those publishers. So OpenAI is paying them the money, but OpenAI also have like direct access to that content rather than going to their website and crawling it. So from their CMS or somewhere in their database, the publishers, OpenAI can directly fetch content. It's not like OpenAI doing what Google is doing, coming to your website and crawling it.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I wonder how that will be possible for smaller brands in the future.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Gagan, thanks again. For everybody watching and listening, this is episode 876 of The Edward Show. This is my daily digital marketing podcast, 876 days in a row doing this show. Thank you so much. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.